So in the end, who could be grateful? So who is it that's grateful? So there can't actually be somebody that's grateful. Because who would be grateful? Like, what are you grateful for? And then at the same time, how could it be any other way than what it is? How could anything be different from what's happening? So you might think that your life or things are going better for you than for other people, that your gratitude, you feel grateful compared to not having money or not having lovers, but it couldn't be any other way than what it is. Life can only be what's happening. You might think you have a choice, so you might think, I can choose whether to take this investment opportunity or that investment opportunity. And then if it goes well, you can feel grateful for it, but it couldn't be any other way. The idea that you did that is a lie. You can only ever have one thing happen, and you never choose to go any other way than the way that you went. You didn't really have an option. An option is an illusion. The idea that you had a choice is an illusion. It appears that there was a choice, but there can only have ever been one thing that happened. And the way you know that is through your experience. Did your experience ever show you that two possible things can happen, or did it only ever show you one thing can happen? One thing. Did you ever actually have two possibilities? You might go into the shop and say, should I choose the banana or the apple? And then you choose the banana, and the banana is amazing and it tastes delicious, and you're like, I am so grateful that I got that banana. But it couldn't have been any other way. You could never have chosen the apple. You could only have ever chosen the banana. But your mind says you could have chosen the apple, so you've got a better thing because you chose the banana. But you didn't. You just did exactly what was meant to happen, and that action was a result of everything else that happened, including the butterfly that was flying in the rainforest in the Amazon, including the Big Bang, including all the humans that came before. If all the humans hadn't made exactly the choices that they'd made before, this moment of you would never have happened. Your parents meeting and your grandparents and great-grandparents making love on a particular day which produced a particular child, that child making exactly the same choices that it made, not making different choices, which led to this moment of you being now. And then in this moment now, you believe that you can be grateful for something that you chose in the past as opposed to a different choice, which is a total lie. You can only have what you have because that's what happened. And that was a result of everything, not a result of you, or not because you were special to get something because you made a particular choice. There is only what's happening. There is only what's happening. It couldn't be any other way. It couldn't be any other way. It's just what it is. So you can't be grateful for something as opposed to something else. You can't be grateful now that you've got this life as opposed to somebody in Africa, as opposed to somebody, not saying there's something wrong with Africa, but we have this image in the West, if you're listening from Africa, that there's a lot of poverty in Africa. So being poor in Africa, being very poor in Africa. It couldn't be any other way. So you can't be grateful for anything as opposed to something else because it couldn't have been something else. You can only be what you are in your life. It's not that your life is predestined, but your life is only one way. It's not 2 or 3 or 4 ways. It's one way, and that's your experience. Your experience is, it's always the way it is. Your experience isn't multiple possibilities or multiple realities. Although it might be for some people. Anything can happen. So, what can you be grateful then for being? For the fact that this is, that whatever it is appearing. Whatever it is appearing right now. You can even say things that you're grateful for, but not in comparison to something else, as just being grateful for them right now. It's like gratitude without gratitude. It's like love of being for nothing, for no freaking reason. Just love for it being, for appearing. like loving this cup because it's so miraculous that this appears. And yeah, you can say I'm grateful for it, but it's not really gratitude. It's just awe that it is. It's this wonder of being that this is. With an incredibly tasty drink inside. It's twinkle juice. Very good if you've ever drunk it before. Pardon me. So true gratitude is love of what you have, not because of comparison to something else, but just of it being, just love. It's really your essence. To me, gratitude is your essence, this being, this sense of existence, this wonder at life, that this is. It's miraculous that this is. Everything, every goddamn thing, the detail in this dream is amazing. Look at it. Look at it. The way the tissue flaps, the movement of the white tissue, the fact it's white and it feels the way it feels. It's got that particular feeling, and that we all know what it is. And then when you blow your nose, it captures stuff that comes out of your nose. This is such a miraculous dream. It's so detailed. It is of awe. So true gratitude is awe at this, at what's happening. Poo, 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 poo. That was Lisa blowing her nose. We are. I'm excited. Gotta calm myself down. Got my little pheasant on today with her high heels. And the lunch that Lisa spilled down herself. There it is at the bottom. It's so funny, this personality. I have these new sofas. So I got new sofas a month or so ago. They're amazing. They're microfiber, and you can get any stain off them. But it took us a while to work out what microfiber it was and how to get the stain off it. And I'm clumsy. It's just what happens. I'm clumsy with everything. If I've got a nice fresh top on it and I have something to eat, more than likely the food is going to be on the fresh top. It's just the way it goes. So when I'm sitting on the new sofas, I put down blankets where I sit, so if I've got any food or anything that I could possibly spill on the sofa, doesn't go on the sofa. But still, I manage to get it all over the sofa. It's really funny. Like, even I seem to project it onto the other bits of the sofa. But these microfiber sobers are so amazing. You just wipe it with this alcohol and it's totally gone. I even got toffee on there. I even had toffee, and I managed to get this toffee and it went hard and really crisp. And then chocolate I got on there. I got mashed potato with margarine on it. Pen. I mean, I've only had it a month and I've managed to do all this to it. I just can't help it. Everything just goes everywhere. Always been the way. It's what happens with this character. This one spiritual teacher I met said, when you're enlightened, you'll no longer be clumsy because you'll be doing everything slowly and gently and you won't be clumsy. Even if I do it slowly and gently, it's going everywhere. It's just the destiny of this body. Never happened. I've traumatized Khaleesi from my clumsiness. If she sees that I'm carrying something, makes sure she gets out of my way because she knows that I often drop it. She's a little bit fearful when she sees I'm carrying something. But anyway, you don't want to know about my clumsiness. You want to know about the juice of this, how juicy this is. But even me speaking now, everything is it. So me telling you this story, you can just get totally lost in what I say. It's just falling in love with whatever is appearing, everything. It's your essence, it's your nature. It's just you've forgotten it because you're focused too much on you and what you lack, what you believe you need. You focus too much on your emotional responses to things and then think that the answer to life is getting a positive emotional response. And the reason that you're unhappy is because you've got a negative emotional response. You even think of that like you think of enlightenment like that. The reason that I'm unhappy is because I'm not enlightened, and that's not true. The reason that you're unhappy is because you think happiness is a thing. That's it. When you were born, your essence was free. That childlike wonder of being, that childlike innocence was free. You were happy for no reason. For no reason at all, just playing. And the game could be really rubbish. Like sometimes in the market square, I watch the kids play and they really seem to be playing nothing. They're just like, broom, broom, and then they're sort of running around on their broom brooms. I'm not even sure what the broom broom is, but they're all running around with it. Some of them are like galloping, some of them are running. And they don't really seem to have a point and they just keep doing it. Sometimes they change direction, but they're just so ecstatic, not for any reason, not because they're one day going to be the most successful game player in the universe or the most successful brum brum in the world, or they're going to beat their friends. They're just doing it for no reason, just for the wonder and the joy of being, just the excitement of yourself. And then as you get older, as the person gets older, it thinks that happiness is based on this or that, on being a certain way, on life being a certain way, on people being a certain way, on having particular emotions. And then you think about this in time. You keep thinking about how you could be happy and what's wrong. And the whole time you're focusing more and more on this me that doesn't even exist. It's a complete and utter illusion. Because who are you but this? And does you exist here? You is simply a thought, so how could you exist here? Woohoo! I have to hold myself back from exploding in the seat. I suddenly turn into my twinkle juice. Twinkle juice is actually humans that have exploded from joy. If you've never heard of twinkle juice, that's why it tastes so good. They just suddenly burst like confetti, like poof, and then other people can drink it. That sounds a little bit gross though when you start talking about eating humans. Maybe then. It's the way it is. Anything else that we could talk about? Anything else on the chest that wants to come off the chest? Chest, anything you want to express? Nope. Yes, there is something. Okay, anything else, chest? That is your freedom, seeing that this is, and that's your essence. Your essence is what's happening, which is empty looking and this sense of existence. The empty looking is that nothing is looking now, because who is looking out? If you examine it, you find it's only stories and feelings. It's not actual reality. In the moment, there's actually an expansiveness that's not contained anywhere, and there's this sense of radiance, existence, this love. And that's with you everywhere you go. And this is why it's freedom and total unconditioned love, because it doesn't leave. You can be in a prison cell, you can be in a refugee camp, you can be in twinkle juice, and be free. Yeah, it requires nothing, and that is true love. Love for nothing. Conditioned love is a love because you believe in something. You believe that you're happy because you are not in a refugee camp, because you have a home. And in that, you'll always be afraid of losing all those things because you believe your happiness is based on something, and happiness, what you are, is not based on anything. What's happening in the moment is a movement of pleasure and pain. So being homeless when it's cold is painful. Being homeless maybe when it's hot is painful as well. Having a home is pleasurable, and that is not your freedom. Pain and pleasure is something that's constantly coming and going. And it doesn't mean happiness. Happiness is your essence, that which is there all the time, but covered because you believe you are something and that you need to be happy and get happiness and own happiness for you. And sit on it like a chicken sitting on an egg. And then someone takes your egg and you're like, where did that go? Last time I looked it was there. And then the husband's all annoyed because you've lost your egg again. If you hadn't heard of that saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's where it comes from. Oh yeah, and just for a lot of people that don't understand my humour, I just want to say a lot of the time I'm making fun and I'm just pretending I'm serious because I am. It's just what I'm doing. So the other day I was saying that meditation is very good for constipation, and I was joking. That was a joke. Meditation, I don't know if meditation is good or bad for constipation. I don't know if it gives you healthy bowels or not. I've never noticed a difference between meditating a lot and not. I've heard that if you meditate on a cold wall, then it does create piles, but I don't know if it helps with constipation or not. But I jokingly said that meditation helps with constipation, and then I got a lot of messages saying that this isn't a proven fact, and I was only making fun. The bit about piles, I'm not making fun. Apparently, if you sit on a cold wall and meditate, that does give you piles in your bottom. Or sitting on anything cold. I'm just being a banana because I eat lots of bananas. So then it manifests, you are what you eat. Thankfully, I don't eat a pig or a cow. I eat bananas. So it makes me like a monkey. Okay, enough of being silly. Let's get to the serious stuff. Let's take some questions. And now suddenly you're going to see my demeanor change. Somebody will express their suffering and then compassion will come from my heart. And I'm not mocking the suffering part. Like, I mean it. When I was younger, I always used to find it hard going from one character to the other, going from being the funny person to the sexy person, say, or the serious person. And I always used to reserve it for different friends, like different bits of the personality would come. But now I don't mind. I'm quite happy to be funny, sexy, stupid, all of them, and it just moves, from bit to bit.